Steve D'Angelo is an American cannabis rights activist and co-owner of the Harborside Health Center in Oakland, California, which are both pictured right here. Although what he's doing is legal in his state of California and he's seen as a powerful and successful businessman, what he's doing is against federal law, and he has to live in a constant state of fear that his business and his livelihood could be taken from him. Today I'm going to address the nation's need for the legalization of medical marijuana and the practical steps that you can take to help advance this need. Even if you think that the advancement of medical marijuana can't affect you, it can affect your family and friends. According to Dr. Neil Lava at WebMD Medical Reference, in 2018, medical marijuana can treat a wide range of illnesses, including Alzheimer's disease, appetite loss, cancer, Crohn's disease, eating disorders such as anorexia, epilepsy, glaucoma, mental health conditions such as schizophrenia and PTSD, multiple sclerosis, muscle spasms, nausea, and pain. That was a long list, which shows that medical marijuana can benefit many people all over this country. Through extensive research, I'm sure that the benefits outweigh the possible consequences of medical marijuana. After explaining to you the problem that many Americans face due to the unavailability of medical marijuana, outlining the practical steps that you can take to help advance this issue, and listing the consequences of ignoring the problem, my hope is that you will join me in advancing the need for the nationwide legalization of medical marijuana. Let's begin with the need. The unavailability of medical marijuana is a threat to the health of the citizens of the United States of America. Marijuana contains cannabinoids, which treat illnesses and disorders. And I have a photo here. Hope that it will focus. I'm going to try to get this to focus on the screen. Okay. And cannabinoids like CBD, as I have in my picture, can treat many illnesses and diseases. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, in 2019, the cannabinoid CBD may be useful in reducing pain and inflammation, controlling epileptic seizures, and possibly even treating mental illnesses and addictions. Studies have shown that certain cannabinoids, such as CBD, aren't intoxicating and they're unable to make their users high. If marijuana is not made legal, patients will begin to use illegal means to obtain it. The illegal acquisition of a drug that can safely treat health conditions and improve the quality of life of its patients will only drive up the rates of crime and absorb time, resources, and funds that could be used on more severe crimes. Illegal means of obtaining marijuana can also increase a patient's chances of unsafe dosages as well as illegitimate drugs. There's also a possibility that the patients will get wrapped up in the wrong crowd. Medical marijuana proposes a more attainable and cost-effective alternative to expensive prescription drugs. Medicare Part D is a government agency which helps beneficiaries pay for their prescription medications. According to Shefali Luthra with National Public Radio in 2016, medical marijuana saved Medicare about $165 million in 2013. They estimated that if medical marijuana were made available nationwide, Medicare Part D spending would have declined in the same year by $470 million. And although money is not the primary motivation for the nationwide legalization of medical marijuana, it's no lie that government saving money here would be incredibly useful so that it could be used elsewhere to benefit our whole country. Although the unavailability is a growing problem in the United States, steps can be taken by you, the audience, to improve the situation. So several small steps, practical steps, can help in the advancement of the nationwide legalization. First, we're going to talk about the stigma surrounding the drug. There's no doubt a stigma surrounding medical marijuana, and it's important that patients talk with their doctors and keep an open mind and are just completely honest so that they can obtain the most medical and professional advice and to abolish preconceived notions about the drug. According to Dr. Peter Grinspoon with Harvard Health Publishing at Harvard Med School in 2019, Many patients find themselves in the situation of wanting to learn more about medical marijuana but feel embarrassed to bring this up with their doctor. Other patients are already using medical marijuana but don't know how to tell their doctors about this for the fear of being chided or criticized. If the patients are more comfortable about talking about it, then the community will welcome medical marijuana with much more welcoming arms. There are also online petitions that you can sign, such as change.org, which has 34,000 supporters already. You need to do your research and analyze the petitions and make sure that they really have the same goals in mind as you, but you need to get your voice heard. Also, the November elections are coming up, and you need to make decisions about candidates with their stance on medical marijuana in mind. Presidential election is a powerful right, and using the stance of medical marijuana in your decision will help you to make unbiased decisions. It's also important that you keep this in mind when voting for congressmen and senators. Congressman Steve Cohen is a strong supporter of medical marijuana, and he's just one example of many, depending on which state you live in. So now that I've discussed practical steps, I will outline the positive experiences you can expect with the legalization of medical marijuana. These improvements will affect individuals and also the country as a whole. The American people will be happier and healthier. According to Dr. Joseph Rosando, with marijuana doctors in 2019, due to marijuana's status as a Schedule I substance, health insurance plans will not consider it for coverage. I know that sounds bad, but if you think about it, people who can't afford health care could save a lot of money spending their money on medical marijuana rather than super overpriced prescription drugs. According to Dr. Alan Carter and Christine Chimmy in 2020, the cannabinoids in marijuana may reduce pain by altering pain perception pathways in the brain. This may be helpful to treat conditions that cause chronic pain such as arthritis, fibromyalgia, endometriosis, and migraine. With such a versatile and affordable drug on the market, people will much likely be very happy and very healthy. The American people will no longer have to live in fear of the authorities. Scott D'Angelo and others who make a living off of medical marijuana could be confident that what they're doing is legal, safe, and a reliable source of income. And also, users wouldn't have to deal with the stigma, and they wouldn't have to live in fear of federal punishment. If the American people replace their prescription drugs with medical marijuana, the government can use the tax money that they're saving, that's usually used on Medicare Part D, elsewhere, which would ultimately better our nation. Also, if the government finds new ways to use the money, the people will appreciate the government's role in society, and there will likely be less tension between the American people and the government. In conclusion, there's a serious need for the nationwide legalization of medical marijuana, and we must do something to help. It can significantly improve the lives of many, and by doing your part, you can make sure that people have happy, healthy lives for those around you. So that's what I'm challenging you to do. Do your part. Get out your devices, visit sign.moveon.org, and sign the petition to legalize medical marijuana at the federal level. Also, don't forget to vote for congressmen, senators, and presidents you can count on to make a change. If we want to live in a land that is truly free, we must speak up and do what's best for all people. The nationwide legalization of medical marijuana could be the first step in creating a nation that serves the people. People like you, me, and Scott D'Angelo.
Oh.